Hello everyone and welcome back to QuicksaveTV, your #1 source for Skyrim coverage on YouTube. Today we're gonna talk about speech, the skill governed by the thief stone, and let's just begin by talking about the skill itself. We have the speech right here. It's not a gigantic tree, but it has two deviations. One of them I would like to call a merchant, the left one. The right one I would like to call a speaker. We start with a haggling on level 20, which asks you actually doesn't require, first skill doesn't require you anything, the second one does. It gives you better prices. On the 5th level it will give you 50% better prices. Right. So it's useful as a means of obtaining more money, but I have to tell you right away, if you would like to be a successful merchant in the game, such as Skyrim, you shouldn't really focus on the haggling so much. You should focus on further skill, further up the road to the left, on the merchant tree. I'm going to talk about merchant first in many detail, and then discuss the speaker in many details, so you can understand what you would like to have yourself. Okay, then we continue to allure, which gives you 10% better prices with the opposite sex. I would say it's the waste of a skill point, of a perk point, because haggling gives essentially the same thing, and it's like to have additional reason to waste a skill point on nothingness. You already have 10% better prices. You don't need additional 10% with an opposite sex. I mean, you could just have universally 10% prices. If it would be like 15% better prices, 20% better prices, yeah, that would be meaningful, but right like this, it's like it doesn't really make sense. Of course, again, if you max out the haggling to 5, you're gonna have plus 50% here, plus 10% here. You're gonna have 60% prices with the opposite sex and 50% with the any sex, basically. I don't see how it makes any sense. And this skill, this perk, belongs to the speaker much more than to the merchant, because the merchant already has the alternative. I will continue to the merchant, can sell any type of item to any kind of merchant. This is probably one of the strongest skills, one of the very important skills in the merchant tree, because it allows you to essentially sell any kind. It allows you to utilize the capital of the merchant to your advantage to the max, right? Previously, before this, if you don't have this skill, you will have to go to the smith, sell him some swords, sell him some armors, then go to the merchant, sell everything you can, then go to the apothecary, sell him some potions, then go to whatever it is, right? Every merchant would put his own conditions on what he would like to buy from you, right? With a skill merchant, you can sell absolutely anything as long as it's not stolen to any kind of merchant. Then we continue to investor, which requires 70 in speech and allows you to invest 500 gold with a shopkeeper to increase his available gold permanently. So you waste 500 gold, you spend 500 gold, but the shopkeeper has 500 gold more now to buy items from you. So you invest in your future, right? Which is really helpful, because it allows you to sell more things to the same shopkeeper. And you can just go to a big city, whichever you like. In my case, it's Whiterun, and just go ahead and invest in every possible merchant, right? When you invest in merchants, you get this additional 500 gold boost, and you will be able to sell things for much better price. I like it very much. I like to do it in one city, the one I like. Then I just go back there and sell everything there. Very comfortable. Then we go to fence, probably second most valuable skill in the tree after the merchant. Fence allows you to barter stolen goods with any merchant you have invested in. So as long as the merchant you invested in him, he will buy stolen goods from you. So you don't have to rely on fences around the world. You can just go ahead and just sell to the closest merchant you invested in. Very comfortable, very nice. Then we go to the last one, Master Trader. Every merchant in the world gains 1000 gold for bartering. Okay, so it's an ultimate skill, which you don't have to invest in anyone anymore, right? Investing was 500, now every merchant gets additional 1000 gold for bartering. That's quite nice, considering that it's easy to get after defense. I mean, it's just additional perk point, but it's a question of comfort, okay? With the perk like Master Trader, it's a question of comfort. You pay for your comfort, so you spend one perk in order to get more comfortable exchange. You get additional 1000 gold. In my case, there would be 5 merchants in the city of Whiterun, and so they would all together they would get 5000 gold coins more to buy things from me. It's like investment. You convert perk into a continuous flow of gold. Now that's all for the merchant tree. Let's go ahead to the speaker tree. We start with the bribery at level 30. Can bribe guards to ignore crimes. Now, don't forget that bribery, as such, it doesn't remove the, excuse me, it doesn't free you from the responsibility for paying the bounty, excuse me again, for paying the bounty for your crime. It just makes the guards look away and not notice that you committed a crime. Very simple. You just talk to them, you give them some money, and they never seen anything, they never seen you. The first time they see you and everything. So it has its limited uses, I would say, for thieves who get caught, right? They can just avoid giving away stolen goods just by paying a bribe to the guards. But again, why don't you just get stealthy and don't get caught in first place? Why would you want to invest in bribery? Okay, then we continue to persuasion, something much more useful than bribery. Persuasion attempts are 30% easier. Now, it requires 15 speech, and persuasion on its own, in the game, there are situations in which you can persuade a person, bribe a person, or intimidate the person. They happen in specific situations, in specific quests, in specific situations, and specific encounters, okay? So it's not that it's universal. You don't go to the merchant and say, I'm gonna persuade you to give me better prices, or I'm gonna intimidate you to give me better prices, or I'm gonna bribe you in order to get secret goods. Okay, no, it's not. That's not how it works. It just works in prescripted areas, prescripted zones, let's say specific dialogues with specific people in specific encounters, okay? But it allows you to utilize these persuasion attempts much better, right? And then we continue to intimidation, which is similar to persuasion, but it gives twice a successful chance, so 100% more effective. In my own experience, intimidation usually was less effective than the persuasion, but it was just my own experience as I was encountering it. Perhaps later on my speech became higher and I was able to persuade easier, or etc. But the point is, for me, I never really used intimidation all that often. Persuasion just happens fairly often. You persuade people fairly often. Intimidation, people tend to avoid intimidation from your side. They just say, like, you know, you're not so impressive, I'm not afraid of you or everything. But the idea is, when you get these two skills, persuasion and intimidation, you will be able to persuade and intimidate much more effective. You will be able to get things done easier, let's say. In many circumstances, it allows you additional routes in the quests, additional let's say additional money from quests, additional, well, anyway, it's very specific tree. The speaker is very specific, unlike the merchant. If you need my opinion, I'd say don't bother using anything in the speaker. Go ahead and just use the merchant. Of course, if you would like to go ahead, I gave you the explanation. If you'd like to do that, go ahead, use it. I don't recommend it personally. I don't find it very useful, and the situations are really limited when you can use the persuasion. The merchant is very useful because, I mean, that's what you do. You get the loot from the any encounters, you bring them back, you sell them. That's how it works. It's very simple. Okay, now that we're finished with that, now let's continue and talk about how does it improve. Now, first of all, there's two ways to improve your speech. One of them is using these encounters and talks by persuading, intimidating, or bribing people. Very simple, you improve your speech. Another way is to go ahead and sell things to the merchant. Now, how can you sell things to another merchant? You just go ahead and sell things, right? Right now, he doesn't have a lot of gold. Let's go ahead and buy some stuff from him. Let's buy some expensive things. Very cool. Let's just do this, something like this. Perfect. Now let's just go ahead and sell it. Dwarven arrow. So not to waste time, I'm just gonna go ahead and sell everything. Perfect. Let's go to apparel and sell these things also. Let's imagine this is not, needed to me, and we just also sell them. Perfect. Speech increased. So you see, you improve speech whenever you buy or sell things. Now again, in my case, it's not so hard to do these things. I mean, look, my capital was enough to buy all of his things, no matter how expensive they are. Again, it took half of my capital, but the idea is, whenever you go to a raid and you get some money from the raid, some stuff, excuse me, not money, just go ahead and sell them to the stuff. Everything you don't need, just go ahead and sell to merchant. Not only you will be able to get some money for these things, but also you will be able to improve your speech, which in the end will be a good investment. Okay, so here I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing until we improve the skill again. Perfect. Or run out of gold. So as you see, that's the idea. Again, the bonus for speechcraft whenever you use for speech, whenever you use the persuasion or intimidation attempt, is much higher. But again, keep in mind, it doesn't happen all the time. It happens fairly rarely, and whenever it happens, you will get this big bonus and everything. Now you can see the selling and buying screen is bugged because I kept doing this little manipulation. Now it doesn't seem that I get the money back from the merchant. He seems to buy things, but he doesn't give any money back. So, alright, that's the idea. That's the idea. Now, see, we improved it just a little bit. I don't remember how much it was. We improved by 3, I think, by 4, whatever it is. So, yeah, that's the speech. Speech is a support, again, to conclude, speech is a support skill situated in a thief archetype. It has 2 major deviations, the merchant and the speaker. The merchant revolves around selling and buying things for a better price and to buy and sell more things to the same merchants with more, let's say, more comfort. Speaker allows you to bribe, persuade, and intimidate people more effectively. Perfect. Again, whereas merchant has much more uses than the speaker, speaker has its limited uses and can be used by players who want to get additional let's say variance in the quest lines and the quest discussions with the other characters and so on. Again, speech is improved whenever you buy and sell things. It's also improved whenever you persuade, intimidate, or bribe other people. It improves faster when you persuade, intimidate, or bribe people. However, it's much easier to improve when you sell and buy things. Of course, you should focus on selling, because buying things will not take you really far away. You're not gonna have enough capital. Again, you could use the money you got, instead of buying things from a merchant, you could find a trainer, which I'm not gonna tell you where it is because I think it would be a spoiler. In order to teach you speechcraft, it would be also a very effective investment. Again, that would be it for the speech. I thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for joining us. If you liked the video, if you enjoyed the commentary, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. It was great having you here. I hope to see you in the future videos. Have a great day, and bye bye.